will formally introduce myself. Hello, everyone. I'm Mary McCarley. I'm the Health Education Content Specialist with Goodheart-Willcox. I am the co-author of our middle school program. And in this 30-minute webinar, I'm going to show you how to navigate our 2025 copyright in Canvas. So these are our 2025 copyrights. Now, teachers, if you're viewing this video and you're using a previous edition, like a 2021 or a 2023 copyright, you can continue to watch it. Or if you want to email us and just ask for the correct training video for your copyright, you can definitely do that. You can actually email us at pd@g-w.com. And I'll make sure to include this information at the end of the presentation as well. So in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you how to get access in Canvas. We'll talk about the teacher resources, the student resources, the exams, how to navigate it, how to create assessments. And my goal is to end 5 minutes early so that you guys, anybody who is on the call live today, can ask questions. Now, the QR code on the right-hand side, this is just for teachers who are using the 2025 copyright in Canvas. Don't scan the QR code unless you're using the 2025 copyright, because we don't want to have any confusion. By scanning that QR code, you're going to receive an email with the training videos. So the training videos is the full, it's like 45 minutes, how to use this program with Canvas. So it is this full training video like you see on the screen here, but you're going to get other great resources about like knowledge-based articles and how to get support from Goodheart-Willcox. So with that said, let's jump right into today's webinar. So prior to your teachers using our program, we will have worked with your LMS admin to load the resources, typically in the Commons. And then once they're in the Commons, the teachers will move the resources from the Commons and put them in their own personal course. And that's kind of where this is starting. So now that the resources are in your own personal course, teachers, the first thing you would need to do was open the resource folder. And then from there, you want to click Activate Your Subscription. It's the Teacher Activate or the Instructor Activate Your Subscription. It's the top item. And you should get a green note that says, thank you for activating your subscription. Now, once you get that, yes, you do often need to refresh your screen. And once you've refreshed your screen, you can go back to the resource folder. And then from there, you want to click the online instructor resources. And we just say, let's click the online instructor resources just to make sure that your screen would look similar to mine. Now, I'm navigating the middle school program, so that's why you see that title. But how you navigate the middle school program will be the same as navigating the high school program. So I've just returned back to the resource folder. So we know that our activation has been successful because I have access to those teacher resources, which we're going to explore a bit later in the video. But it is important to make sure that the top 2 items are unpublished. We do not, so you just click here to publish, click again to unpublish. We do not want students to have access to either the teacher activation or the online instructor resources. Now, on the first day, when you're ready to start this program with students, I do need to click this. Let's publish that. Let's unpublish the top 2 items. And then from there, I will ask my students to click the Activate Your Subscription. That is for the student to click. Once they click that once, it's going to give them a green note that says, thank you for activating your subscription. They have full access to anything you have published. So teachers, if you don't want them to have access to one of the lessons, like 1.4, all you do is just click this and it's going to unpublish it and students will not have access to anything. You can change the order of our lesson modules by just dragging and dropping as well. Once all your students have activated, you can just unpublish. If a new student comes in, just click it again. Let them click the activation and you can unpublish again. So that was about the teacher and student activation. So we're going to take a look at a lesson. So I'll click on lesson 1.3, but just know how I navigate one lesson will be the same as how I navigate another lesson. Now, given that I've demoed this so many times, I've made some adjustments. I've actually added assignments in here. So your lessons will look closer to this. So your lessons will only have, which I'll navigate lesson 1.1 just to make sure it all looks the same. It will have the English and Spanish textbook, and that's where we're going to begin. So I'll click on the English textbook. And on the left-hand side, you will see a toolbar. Students only have access to 1.1 by clicking the plus. I can zoom in significantly. What a student sees is the same as what you see. I can even click the minus and zoom back out. The search allows the student to search within the lesson. I can type in a key term or a page number, just click go. I can also choose and click the table of contents to jump within lesson 1.1, but I do need to stay within 1.1. I'll scroll down. Both middle and high will start with learning outcome statements, key terms, essential question, reading and note-taking activity. Now, middle school will start with an introduction. High school starts with a skills-based warm-up. Both middle and high will be chunked by section. You'll see vocabulary terms highlighted. You'll see images, pictures, infographics throughout. Notice I'm scrolling down. By scrolling down, we do meet accessibility guidelines. If the students need the pages read to them, they can use their built-in screen readers from their browser. I have come to a case study. These are our skills-based features within the pages of our text. Both middle and high school has them, and our goal is to always have students practicing a skill. So what a great opportunity to get your students in teams of 2 or 3, allow them to collaborate and practice skills together and make connections to the real world. And one thing I wanted to note about the middle school program, when you get to the end of a section, which I should be coming to the end of a section, you will see our reading checkpoint questions. This is one of our middle school only features. Teachers, you will have a digital copy of that you can print or assign as either a Word or Google Doc in Canvas. But at the end of the lesson for both middle and high, we do have a reading summary. There's critical thinking questions. High school, just above the critical thinking questions, you also have text-dependent questions. So you don't have those reading checkpoint questions, but you do have them at the end of the lesson. And you also have a digital copy of that. And both middle and high also has opportunities to practice skills at the end of the lesson. So you could assign one of these for students, or you could even let students pick what skill they wanted to do. So teachers, this was our digital textbook. It doesn't matter what lesson you're navigating. Every lesson from middle and high school will have the English textbook and Spanish textbook, which I just clicked on, all matching page for page. Now, this is an authentic translation, and it does match page for page. So if you realize you don't have any students who are Spanish speaking and it's not necessarily something that you need, you can always unpublish. And students will not see that. Now, if it ever arises that you have a student who speaks another language other than English or Spanish, so we can translate our text, but as a teacher, you need to do one step prior. So the 3 dots, just click the 3 dots, click edit, and then the button right here that says open in a new tab. That's all you have to do, and click update. Now that's going to update for all students. That's all you have to do, but it's only updating for lesson 1.1. Now, when a student clicks on it, it will prompt them to open in a new browser right here, a new window. I'll click again, and then it does open. Now it opens in English, but students, as long as you show those students who might need it in Somalian or Arabic or French, just tell them to click the 3 dots, click translate, and choose their language. Now, often once they've chosen the language a few times, it does populate at the top. It remembers that the student does read in Arabic, and as they scroll, it will change. Now, it isn't Google Translate. However, We do meet accessibility guidelines. The teachers have said the translations are excellent. Now, some of the pictures don't translate, but the actual text does translate. So I just wanted to show you, just in case you're ever in a bind and you do need like the text in another language, that is always an option. Now we could go back to 1.1. And if I realize that I don't need it in another language, it's really easy for me just to click those 3 dots one more time, click edit, and uncheck that box, and it will return to the default. So in addition to the textbook, depending on the lesson you're looking at, some lessons will have videos and animations. This one does have a video. Some of our videos do have guided worksheets as well for middle and high. Now, teachers, you can click on it. It will go to your downloads to open up as a Word document. In just a moment, I will show you how you can create assignments if you wanted to create an assignment from that. You can also view the transcript. Just click play. But every single lesson, whether it's middle or high, also has vocabulary activities. I'll click on vocabulary activities. Now, these are really tools that are just intended for self-assessment, practice. I'll click on English. The student clicks it to flip it. If your student already knows this one, they can always click remove, and then the student can go to the next one. Now the student can actually change it to see the definition first, turn their audio off, shuffle the deck, reset the card stack if they have deleted any, and just click apply. So every lesson for middle and high does have English, English, Spanish, and full Spanish. So teachers, again, you're not going to get a notification that the student did it. It is just practice. All of these are actually just practice. So I'm just typing in a few answers. If I had gotten one right, one is green, the rest is red. And it does prompt the student to keep trying until they get them all right. So it's not going to send you a grade. It is just practice. In addition, every lesson does have a vocab game. It is set up similar to Jeopardy, whether they get them right or wrong. It does tell them the correct answer. Every lesson has a spelling challenge. Play the term, try to spell it correctly. Every lesson does have a glossary. So teachers, these were all just intended to be self-practice for students. If you love it, leave it published. If you want to change the order of it, and you want to take attendance first thing and have students practice their vocabulary, you can change the order by just dragging and dropping. Every lesson also does have an audio summary, which really just provides students a quick summary of the lesson. So those are our videos and interactive tools. And you'll find that it doesn't really matter what lesson you're in. You can, it always really falls in that same format. Lastly, for the student resources, I'll highlight our handouts. Now, I always tell teachers, the last 2 items, think of them as folders. We don't need students to see all the handouts in English and all the handouts in Spanish. So unpublish those, click it, and then you decide from lesson 1.1 which of these you want to do with students. So, for example, if you like more text-dependent questions, you might choose our reading guide. Now, for middle school, it is a direct copy from the pages of the text. So remember in middle school, those reading checkpoint questions that were embedded throughout? This is a digital copy. High school, you have a reading guide. Your questions were not embedded throughout, but we still created one so that the student could answer questions as they read. All of these open in DocX format. So it's a Word document. You can click Enable Editing, make any changes. You could save it, you could print it, you could assign this as a Word document in Canvas, or in just a moment, I'm going to show you how to upload to your Drive and convert it to a Google Doc. Now, teachers, if you're on a Mac and you're worried because you don't have Word and they're not opening correctly, don't worry, because in just a moment, I'm going to show you how to bypass that process. So for teachers who like text-dependent questions in middle and high, we have our reading guides. We've got lesson review questions for middle and high. And middle school has a vocab activity for every lesson as well. But for the teacher who likes the skills-based approach, you will love our workbook pages. They're going to put kids in real life situations, scenarios, ask them questions like, what do you do? What do you say? Advocate, set a goal, practice communication. So the workbook pages, the student doesn't have to have read all of 1.1 to do these types of assessments. It's a great opportunity to maybe get your students in teams of 2, allow them to collaborate and just debrief as a class. So lots to choose from to extend learning, practice skills. High school, under your workbook pages, often you'll see skill development activities. They're very similar to the workbook pages, just from another co-author. Again, practicing skills. So now let's practice assigning these. And I'll first begin assigning as a Word document. So I have already downloaded Making a Positive Impact. So from there, if you're going to assign as a Word document, you'll click Assignments, and then I'll quickly show Google Docs. Plus Assignment. We'll give it a name. I like to make sure to include lesson 1.1. I'll just put making, I think it was Making an Impact. And then from there, you will have the option to insert, and you can insert that document, upload that document, and then just grab it from your downloads. Should be sitting right there. Just click open and submit. And now you've added it as a Word document. You can assign a point value if you wanted to assign a point value. Now, if you're going to assign as a Word document, you do need to make sure it is online file upload. That is a Word document. From there, you can add your due date and then just click save. So that was a Word document. Now you may be thinking, well, what if I want to add as a Google Doc? If you want to add as a Google Doc, the first thing we'll need to do is we'll need to bring that Word document into our Google Drive. So I've opened my Google Drive, and on the top right corner, I need to check my gear icon first. I'll click Settings, and I'm going to scroll down just to make sure this box is checked. Uploads. By checking this box, anytime you bring one Word document in or an entire folder of Word documents into your drive, they'll automatically convert to a Google Doc. So that's going to be a time saver. So from there, I'll click New, File Upload. I'll choose it and open. And while that's working, I'll go back to Canvas. We'll click Assignment, and we'll add another assignment once that loads. We'll give it a title. Give directions for the students as needed. And this time, if you're going to assign as a Google Doc, you want to click External Tool. Now, this is the part I would need to walk you through because I'm not connected to a school district, but often teachers will click Find, and from there, they will need to find, it typically says Google Drive assignments, Google LTI 1.3 assignments, something with Google assignments or Google Drive assignments, and then they'll select it. Once they select it for the first time, it will need to link. They will click Link to their Google Drive. And then once you've linked to your Google Drive, it's pretty self-explanatory from there. In the top left-ish corner, you'll attach. It will have a box that says attach. And you click that and it goes to your Google Drive. You can add the assignment from there. And then it will ask you for either Google assignments or Canvas Speed Grader. That's obviously teacher preference. Choose it. It brings you back to this screen and you'll select the Google assignments one more time. And once you've done that, you will see your Google Doc assignment right here. I just wasn't able to walk you through that. Choose your due date and then just click Save. Now, I always tell teachers, once you've saved, we're going to click on Modules. Once you've saved, click on modules. We'll go back to 1.1, click the plus button, and then I should see that assignment under assignments, and then just click add item. And now it's adding it. So because I've demoed a few times for districts, you can see that I've added an assignment to this one as well. So we're picking and choosing what we want to do, and then we're adding that for students, and then I could just publish it. So that's why I say let's leave it unpublished. Now, once I've created an assignment, students can complete that. But as a teacher, you may be thinking to yourself, I don't really want to download everything just to see it. So I'm going to show you another option so that you can save it either in your Google Drive or on your computer. So we're going to now that we've really explored everything at the lesson level, again, if you open another lesson, the format is the same. Let's look at our teacher resources. I'll click on the teacher resources, and we're going to look at, again, the same module, module 1. Once I click on module 1, we're going to scroll past this. A lot of this is just the textbook. We've already seen that. So we'll scroll past this, and you're going to see student zip files in English and Spanish. I'm going to click on the English. So, and open it up from your downloads. And rather than downloading one at a time, this is all of module 1. And if I open, you can see the individual lesson folders. So if I click back on 1.4, those are all the assignments for 1.4. If I go to 1.1, those are all my assignments. WB stands for workbook page. And there's positive impact. The video guide is also in the zip folder. So wouldn't it be nice to just save this? If you're wanting to assign as a Word document, just drag it and drop it where you want to save it. If you want to save as a Google Doc, I'll show you how to bring that into your Drive. So if you're on a Chromebook, look on the left-hand side for Google Drive. Once you see it, just drag and drop if you're on a Chromebook. If you're on a Mac, you do not need to do this next step. Everybody else, do this next step with me. Right-click, click the copy. We're copying it out of the zip file. You can place it anywhere you want. You can place it on your desktop. You can place it back in your downloads. I'm just going to put it back in my downloads by right-clicking in this white space and pasting. Now, I've already done that once, so I'll just replace that. But if you're doing it for the first time, it should populate at the top. Mine didn't, but yours will probably populate close to the top. And then both Mac users and everybody else, open up your Google Drive. You'll go to New and do a folder upload. Now you're going to take the whole folder and just click upload. Yours will likely be at the top or wherever you pasted it. Just click upload, and then everything will convert to a Google Doc, which is a big time saver. So I just wanted to point that out. That's in both English and Spanish. We'll just keep scrolling down for just a moment to get to our teacher resources. So I was at 1.1, so I'll stay at 1.1. Every lesson has a lesson plan. They're phenomenal. They're written by teachers for teachers. Definitely take a look at those. Every lesson has scope and sequence. Every lesson has a pre-quiz. Every lesson has a post-quiz. This is the Word version of the post-quiz. You're going to have the auto-graded version, which I will show you in just a moment. So this is just the Word version of it. Every lesson has an easier version of the reading guide. Every lesson has a PowerPoint with PowerPoint guided notes for students to follow along. All of our PowerPoints you can edit, and they've been formatted to upload as slides. Depending on the lesson you're looking at, some lessons will have teacher-directed activities, and some lessons will have parent engagement homework assignments. Now, if you don't want to download each one of these, Here is your teacher zip file right here. Besides that, teachers, we have teachers editions. Definitely check that out. Middle school, you've got great options for differentiation in the teachers edition. You can look through there. And in the zip folder for both middle and, oh, sorry about that. In the zip folder for both middle and high, we do also have a assessments and answer keys. I'm going to click on that. But if you downloaded the zip folder, they're all in the zip folder at the top. Once you're done, every lesson has a lesson plan. Every lesson has a letter for, every module has a review day lesson plan. Every module has a letter for families that highlights the lessons included. Every module has answer keys that are divided by lesson. Now, middle school has bingo. Middle school has menus. These are review day activities. High school, you may have something different. But both middle and high have performance tasks. So if you're a teacher that likes the skills-based approach to your summative, definitely take a look at these. Just click on any one you'd like, open it up. The format's going to be the same for middle and high, and that the first page, once mine opens, will be directions for the teacher, a step-by-step guide on how to do it, the task for the student, and a rubric for grading. The format will be the same for middle and high. But if you prefer a more traditional exam, this is the Word version, easy. Level 2 is intermediate, level 3 is difficult. That is the Word version. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you the auto-graded version. So basically, I have been navigating one module. Any other module in our program is going to look and feel exactly the same. Let me show you course planning really quickly in 1 minute, and then I will show you the auto-graded exams and bring this to a close. Course planning. Teachers, I'll hit the highlights. Under navigating your resources, content update lessons. 2 to 4 times per school year, we're posting brand new lessons for students. They're amazing. They actually look like a full lesson of the book with lesson review questions, a skills-based workbook page. Check those out. We know that the new dietary guidelines recently were released. This was a pretty significant change, so we actually have PowerPoint presentations, additional handouts you can definitely take a look at. Under instructor guides, a lot of these are best practices. We've got course planning guides, correlations, additional templates, additional rubrics, and vocab activities as well. Just like these are templates that you could actually use for any lesson. And then also we do have opt-out materials. So if you're using our comprehensive version, the opt-out materials are where you see them right now. If you're using a companion text of ours, you just need to go to the course planning of the companion text to find the opt-out materials. So you'll see like the name of the lesson that the child is opting out of, like STIs. Even though that says managing diseases, it's going to be like the flu or COVID. All right, teachers, so I've really shown you everything besides the auto-graded exams. So teachers can load their own auto-graded quizzes into their course. We will provide that information to your LMS admin so they can do it for the teachers as well. In the training videos that you guys will receive, you'll actually receive a step-by-step guide on how to import those if the teacher has to do it. But the quizzes will live in this quizzes section. Mine's taking just a moment to load. And when teachers access their quizzes, they will see both standard exams. You can see this is module 1 standard exam. I have demoed a lot of times for districts, so I have multiple copies of the exact same test. Teachers, you'll only have it once. That's module 2 standard exam. So if I click on a test for students, and then you can change, set your due date, but when you're ready to see it, just click build. And once you click build, you can see all of our questions. And that way, teachers, you can modify the question just by clicking on the pencil. You can delete the question by using the trash can. You can duplicate the question. You can change the order of the question. So all the questions are built for you. It's really about if you want to make some changes to them. You can also click your settings, randomize the order, set a time limit. The reports is also great. You can set it up to go right to your grade book. So every lesson has a quiz. Every module has an exam. So when I'm ready, I can bring my lesson quizzes into 1.1. So again, you just click the plus button, change it to quiz, scroll down and find, there it is. I have 101 stands for lesson 1.1 post quiz. That's my post quiz. Just add it in. And as you can see, once I publish it, students can take the quiz. So teachers, I know I went over by just a few minutes. I do apologize. It's a lot to show in 30 minutes. If you are using our 2025 copyright, I'm hoping you guys had a chance to scan that QR code. By scanning this QR code, it will allow you to get quick access to our training videos. Which are right here. The training videos are longer. It's my voice. It just kind of slows down a little bit so you can really follow step by step in using our resources in Canvas. Lastly, if you have any questions, if you're using another copyright, you can always email us at pd@g-w.com. And just let us know what copyright you're using, if it's middle or high. And again, just let us know it's Canvas, and then we can make sure you have the right training video. We always appreciate your feedback. There is a QR code. I think it's just a few questions. I'd love your feedback on if this was helpful and informational, and good luck in the upcoming school year. I truly hope this was helpful.